What is everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we got a fun one. I had a lot of fun making this. I'm gonna try to speak a little quick to this because I got a lot to talk about, but this is going to be an aggressive BIGDAM guide for preservation Evoker and how to maximize your damage as a healer, as an Evoker class. It is so much fun to go through. I'm gonna go over the stats, the talents that I'm gonna run, tier set, and just how it's done, man. It's some cool tips and tricks if you may or may not know. This can apply to both PvP and PvE. My content is geared more towards PvP, but I think you could take a lot away from this in terms of PvE as well. So let's get right into it. And if you guys do like these sort of content for Evoker, make sure you guys are like and subscribe. So first up here, I just want to go over really quick the recent changes on Evoker, because this is what sparked my interest in making this video and this different type of play style that I'm gonna gear towards. Okay, so in PvP, we saw some nerfs. This is exactly what we want to see because damage was too easy. It was just not fun in my opinion, and there was no depth to it at all. It was just press fire breath on cooldown, flame breath, press living flame when you have time, and it was just ridiculously high damage. And them moving damage away from the fire abilities, the red abilities, into the blue ones, aka disintegrate, makes the gameplay a lot better and a lot more fun and not so cheesy, you know. So this nerf living flame, this nerf fire breath, disintegrate buffed. So the goal of all this is going to be maximizing the amount of disintegrates you can get off so that you guys can do the most amount of damage possible. With that note, let's get related quicker to the gear. If you guys are not aware, they did rebalance a lot of the tier set stats. I made it in my last video, so check that out if you guys are interested about that. But because of that note, I'm gonna slightly change my gearing outlook. Okay, so in terms of the tier, the one I got all the pieces except for the chest piece. Chest piece I did not, because chest piece was mastery main stat, haste off. My goal is going to be haste and crit. Okay, haste and crit are going to be the two that are going to give you the biggest dam. Mastery is for healing. Okay, it doesn't increase your damage at all. So in terms of this guide and this video and the build, is I don't really need any mastery. So outside of that, we are going to go everything haste. You're going to get quite a bit of crit from your tier set already. So this is 466 crit. This is 342 crit. So I'm going to have a decent amount of crit already. So, and then the only other piece I went crit was the chest piece because there was no haste alternative. Outside of that, every other piece haste. So neck haste, cloak, bracers, weapon, trinket. Rings are going to be haste and crit. Haste boots, haste waist. Okay, haste waist. Those are all going to be the stats. So I'm going to be going for haste because what haste is going to do is going to obviously increase your cast time, your GCD time, so you can get you get more abilities out. And then lastly, your essence regen. It's going to help with essence regen. The more you have, the quicker you're going to be able to go through all this rotation, and your essence natural regen will be quicker. So that is my thought behind switching to more haste oriented than crit, but we are going to have a decent amount of crit at the same time, so it's not a total loss. All right, we still have about 30% crit. It'll be a little more in PvP. These are with 389 item level, so it's going to be a little bit higher numbers than this, but that's what we got in terms of that. In terms of talents, okay, so this is a kind of balls to the wall damage build that I made up. You know, feel free to change things here and there to optimize for what you want to do. If you want to toss out a few things for a little bit more healing, be my guest. That's the fun of these builds, right? But this is kind of the one. This is the one I was going for. This is something I would use in 2s. I would not really use this in 3s. 2s in like maybe PvE Mythic Plus if I know I'm just trying to maximize my damage. Okay, just a few things here. So first off, disintegrate talents. We have natural convergence, which is going to be make your disintegrate tick faster, aka cast faster. You're gonna have this, which helps you with the slow. Can't go wrong with that. And as well as energy loop. Okay, so energy loop is going to be 20% more damage on your disintegrates and generate you mana. Cool thing about playing like this is it's going to be extremely mana efficient. You know, you are going to be burning a lot more mana doing all this stuff, but you're going to regen a lot back. I've had games where I've had 50k mana regen over the course of a game. That is phenomenal. And mana is obviously, it recently got nerfed, but it's not really an issue for Evoker. Maybe it will be with playing a lot of haste and whatnot. Okay, secondly, we have our Living Flame talents. We have Enkindled, which buffs Living Flame. Scarlet Adaptation buffs Living Flame. Life Force Mender buffs Living Flame. And this number, it seems like it's a minor thing. It's 2% of your max health. So it's going to be quite a lot, actually. It's going to be about like 6 to 10k increase on every single Living Flame and Flame Breath. We have Draconic Legacy, which will pair with that. It increases our stamina, so it increases our damage on Living Flame. We have Instinctive Arcana, baseline 4% increase on all of your damage. Blast Furnace, not a super mandatory one. If you do want to kind of switch out some stuff, this would be one you could probably switch out. It makes your fire breath damage over time a little bit longer. I tested out the damage. It wasn't that big of a deal, like 5 to 10. I think it's between 5 to 10k over like 7 seconds. It's not the biggest deal. Leaping Flames, really nice one to have. It makes your next living flame after your fire breath AoE. Really, really good in arena, especially if you're playing a cleave comp, which I plan to play, like Shadow Play, for example. Being able to just maximize your damage getting out in Mythic Plus if you're just trying to hit everything. Maximize your damage. It also heals too. Don't forget, this is not just a solely offensive talent. If you have, let's say, 1 target and 3 allies and you have a full stack, it's going to heal the 3 allies and do damage to that 1 person at the same time. So it's a really versatile talent, really nice to have. Outside of that, that is all the damage abilities on this side. Over here, we have Spark of Insight. This is going to be the core of how Disintegrate is going to function. This is how you're going to be able to get a lot of Disintegrates off, aka a lot of Big Damn. When you consume a full temporal compression, you get an Essence Burst, Essence Break. Essence Break, what that is they're either triggered by Living Flame with a 20% chance proc, or by Spark of Insight. So every 4 temporal compressions, you cast an empowered ability. Temporal compression is each time you cast a bronze spell caused by your next empowered spell. Makes it faster and stacks 4 times. Okay, so you're going to get 4 stacks of these. You're going to use your Essence ability or your empowered ability. You're going to grant a Essence Burst, and you're going to be able to do a free Disintegrate. Okay, so those are 2 ways to generate those Disintegrates. Or sorry, yes, generate the essences for the Disintegrates. Last but not least, we have Empath, which is, excuse me, Spirit Bloom increases your essence regen by 100%. That is another thing. We just want to keep those essence regens going so that we can maximize our Disintegrates, maximize our damage. Another one I forgot to add on there, which is basically in the same reasoning. Essence regen 10% faster. You could opt to even go even bigger damn. I wanted to keep Renewing Breath and Grace Period because they were so powerful in terms of healing. Like you could maybe move some of these into flow state or something like that if you're really ballsy, but I wanted something that was still viable. So that's what I went for. PvP downs don't really matter in terms of damage. But let's get into the rotation, okay? So I made a really cool pie chart for you guys. Not pie chart. I don't even know what you call this. Mark chart. On how to do Big Damn. Okay, this is my trinity of damage. Big Damn for Evoker, okay? I'll explain. You have 3 pinnacles, 3 pieces of where your Big Damn is going to come from. First off, easy one. Fire Breath on cooldown. Nothing else to it. This is going to proc your AoE Living Flames. Just going to be a lot of damage, okay? With the initial burst being nerfed, I don't know how it's not on the game yet, so I don't know specifically if it's going to affect the dot as well. If for some reason the one charge is better than the max charge, maybe you're going to opt to go the 1 charge. We'll find out on that. Okay, the second one is Living Flame. Okay, so you're going to get these Living Flames procs from Reversion. Reversion is going to be your core of everything. Lucky for you, Reversion is your main heal too. So you keep up your reversions. What those keeping up that reversions is going to do is it's going to allow you to proc your tier set, which means Reversion has a chance to proc Living Flame to deal 20% damage, increase damage, and be instant, stacking 2 times. Okay, when you use Reversions, you get Living Flame procs. Living Flame procs equal Big Damn. What else Living Flame procs? Essence Break, Essence Burst. I guess they're Essence Burst, not Break. Whatever. So you proc Essence Burst. Sorry. Excuse me. Okay, going back to here. So as we get those Living Flames, we get Essence Breaks. What do those Essence Breaks or Bursts give us? Disintegrates, okay? That's your first way to generate Disintegrates. Disintegrates do utilize your Essence system, which is for your Echoes, okay? That's your main healing source. So if we're able to optimize our Essence Bursts, we're going to be able to get more Disintegrates out while not completely neglecting healing, okay? Be able to kind of min-max it and do the minimal amount of healing possible to get by so that you can maximize your damage. Okay, next up, the other way is Temporal Compression. So via Reversions, as well as some other bronze spells, you're going to stack up your Temporal Compressions. So as I Reversion people, and you also counts for Echo as well, so you can also Echo for it. You can revert Echo Reversion. Look at that, I got a Living Flame proc. Living Flame proc could proc my Essence Burst or just do Big Damn. Add 4 stacks, I have this cool little weak aura that glows when I have a full stack. That means cast an Essence ability. Casting that, or casting the empowered ability, that empowered ability gives me an Essence Burst. Get the Essence Burst, cast the Disintegrate, just like that. Okay, so our main gameplay is just going to revolve around casting our bronze spells. Note some other spells that do count. I think Chrono Loop. I don't know if Chrono Loop counts. That's PvP count. But Time Dilation counts. Rewind counts. Your buff counts, cool one to utilize if your reversions are on a cooldown and you don't really have the opportunity to use it. You could use that. Time Spiral also counts. Just the reason I added this weak core is because I felt like a lot of the time I was just chilling with full compressions and not utilizing them well. Okay, so I get my stuff going. And I could also use Spirit Bloom. So Spirit Bloom is gonna generate my essence burst. So I get those 4 compressions. I use my essence ability. I get an essence break or essence burst, and I use it to disintegrate. Big damn. Side note with Spirit Bloom, because of Empath, you're gonna want to do what I just did there. So it increases your essence regen rate. Don't want to get the maximum effort from this is you're going to want to make sure that you're not full on essences when you use this as well. So let's say in this case, I'm going to get my full stacks up here at 4. I got my 4 stacks. Okay. I don't want to be using it right now. I want my essences to be burned a little bit. So I'm going to disintegrate first, pop my Spirit Blossom, or Spirit Bloom, whatever it's called, disintegrate again, and I can even disintegrate again. So after those Spirit Blossoms, you're going to be able to do, essentially a triple disintegrate off that. And then, that's about it. Like I said, Fire Breath on cooldown, throw out your Living Flames, gives you Essence Burst procs to use to disintegrate. Okay, you can go back to healing, echo, reversion. This really doesn't disrupt. Oh, I get a glow, I get my procs gun. So what do? Cast an empowered ability, get another disintegrate. Go back to what we were doing, do our healing, echoes, reversions, maybe a Verdant Embrace, whatever it may be. Okay, oh look, we have another one. Okay, my essences are looking a little low. Let me go for a Spirit Bloom instead. So I get my fast energy essence regen. I can do a double disintegrate there. I go back to another Living Flame. I can throw a Fire Breath in. I can throw a Deep Breath in. Okay, I go back to healing. Do my normal healing rotation. Look at that, I got another proc. What do? I cast an ability, use another essence break. You guys got the idea, right? But that's a little cool chart I made for you guys. Hopefully that helps you better understand what is going on in this. This is why I'm loving this class so much, is there's just so much depth to it, and it's a lot of freaking fun. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and you learned something new. If you guys like this content, make sure you guys do like and subscribe. Always pushing out the DP aggro healer guides and whatnot. So get out there, do some big damn, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.